The effects of transgender surgeries and puberty blockers can be detrimental, especially on children who undergo such drastic changes at an early age. My next guest is a biological woman. She had surgery to become a man, then detransitioned back to being a woman, and now she's suing the doctors and therapists who helped her transition in the first place. Joining me now, Chloe Cole and her attorney, Charles Lamandry. Chloe, tell us, what age did all this take place, if you don't mind? When the first transition happened, when you detransitioned?
I started socially transitioning when I was 12, and then at 13, I was put on puberty blockers and I went on testosterone. I was 15 when I underwent a double mastectomy, which means that I had both of my breasts removed, and then I stopped transitioning at 16.
So, Chloe, you know, in these ages, first of all, were your parents in favor of this? Did you need parental approval to get this stuff done?
I did need parental consent. My parents, they wanted to be supportive of me, and they weren't really sure of what to do when I came out to them as transgender when I was 12, because I mean, they weren't really educated on the subject. It was a very new thing to them, and so they referred me to a therapist because they saw it as a mental health issue, which it was, but it was never addressed as such by my physicians or my therapist. They convinced my parents that it was basically a life or death situation. They told them behind my back that if I wasn't allowed to transition, that I would be at risk of committing suicide. And so they were basically coerced into letting me undergo transition.
Wow, wow, wow! It's amazing. So you go through this. You go through the puberty blockers, and then you would do a double mastectomy. At what point did you realize I may have made a mistake?
It was roughly 11 months after my mastectomy, actually. I was taking a class on psychology that had some lessons on child development, and I learned about how the bond forms between mother and child, and breastfeeding. That breastfeeding was a big part of that, and I realized that at a really young age, I was allowed to make this decision that I wasn't really capable of making with informed consent. There were a lot of things about motherhood and breastfeeding that I didn't even know about, and I mean, I was 15 at the time of the surgery. I was a kid, and I just wasn't capable of making
You were a kid.
such a
You were a
such a
kid,
decision.
Chloe. You were a kid. Charles, lawyer Charles, what requirements, what responsibilities do doctors have to make these young children aware of that these things are permanent and that they may be missing something? As Chloe points out, she never thought of the idea of being a mother and breastfeeding. What are they required to do that? We may be losing Charles. I'm going to stay with Chloe until we get Charles back. But so Chloe, now you want to transition back. Chloe, do you feel like the transition, you're capable of transitioning back, and where are you on that?
I mean, I'm a pretty lucky case, actually, because the only surgery I got was the removal of my breast, which has caused a lot of damage, but I never got any sex reassignment or genital surgeries. I still have my original organs intact, and after I stopped taking the testosterone, about 2 months later, I got my period back. And at first, when I went off the testosterone, I actually got very, very sickly, and it worsened my health for a little bit. And I still am dealing with some complications, but.
So you're one of the lucky ones, Chloe. You're one of the lucky ones who can still probably have. I assume you can still have children. So there are so many who can't and who've done, gone the extra step and not able to detransition like you have. Very quickly, I got about 30 seconds each. Give us a message what you want to talk to other women or men or kids who are thinking about doing this.
As much as it sucks, these feelings usually aren't permanent, and it's really best to wait until you're old enough to be able to make a decision like this.
Okay, and then I want you to spend the next 30 seconds talking to doctors out there who are doing these surgeries. What do you want to tell these doctors that these children, these people need to know before they do this stuff?
Children can't consent.
Yeah. Even further though, Chloe, I mean, I would think these doctors have to even go for, even if they get a parents to, consent, that they have to really, really, really think about their patient too. It's not all about the dollars and cents. It's about the holistic value of the patient as well. Chloe Cole, I'm
But in
sorry we
doing
lost
so,
Charles.
they
Chloe
often,
Cole, go ahead.
in
Go
doing
ahead,
so,
final
they
thought.
often guilt the parents into allowing this to happen.
Yeah. Parents, stand up for your kids. Don't be guilted into it. Really, really. Be parents. Don't be their friend, be their parent. Chloe Cole and Charles Lemandry, we lost him, but thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you.